Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me as always. It's a pleasure to have you guys here as we dive into some more movie news. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Lee Cronin Mummy reboot, which is due to be released next year in 2026. Also, it comes to us from the Blumhouse studio. They're really great at putting out these low-budget horror indie movies, and they have a great track record, so that gets me excited. And with Lee Cronin coming off the Evil Dead Rise, which was an incredible movie, I'm picturing here almost like an Evil Dead kind of version of The Mummy, which could be something really, really spectacular. But also, we're going to be talking about Jack Reynor, who is set to star now in this Mummy reboot, which is all the more exciting. He's a great little actor, and I'm sure he's going to do great in whatever role he has in this movie. So let's jump into this article, let's break down this information, and let's see what we can learn about this Mummy project. This comes to us from comicbookmovie.com. The Mummy, Jack Reynor to star in Evil Dead Rise, director Lee Cronin's Blumhouse reboot. I could not be more excited. I love The Mummy as a franchise. Those 1990s movies with Brendon Frasier, absolutely incredible. The Tom Cruise movie, it flopped on its face, like critically and financially, but there were some fun moments in that movie. It's just a shame that the writing wasn't very strong, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's get to this information. So, late last year, we got word that The Mummy is set to rise from its tomb once again, with director Lee Cronin taking the helm for a new movie from Blumhouse and Atomic Monster. Now, as production gets underway, the studio has announced that the project has found its lead. So he's not just starring in this movie, Jack Reynor, he's also going to be the lead, which is kind of exciting. So Jack Reynor from Midsommar, The Perfect Couple and Cherry, is set to star, though we don't have any details on his role. It's assumed he'll play the hero and not the monster. Yeah, I mean, it could be possible. He could end up playing the Mummy. We just don't know at this point. I mean, all bets are off with these types of movies. You just have no idea what's going to happen. But like it says here, it's more than likely he's going to be, he's going to be the survivor, the guy trying to get away from the monster, if you like. So, jumping over here to X, let's take a look at this news. Let's take a look at some of the comments and feedback from the community and see what they're saying about this movie and this news of Jack Reynor joining the production of The Mummy. Also, I just want to do a quick plug. Guys, by the way, if you're not following me on X, please come over and follow me. Just search ReviewFlix. You'll find me very easily. It would be great to have you guys on board. I need a few more. Followers on here. I'll put all the new movie news that featured on the channel, behind the scenes stuff as well about the channel, about movie content. So make sure you follow me on X if you can. But anyway, getting back to the story. So this comes to us from Blumhouse. Lee Cronin's The Mummy is now in production. Jack Reynor set to star. You are not ready for what's coming. And then we have this picture here of obviously one of the clapperboards that they're using on set. Lee Cronin's The Mummy, scene 24, take 1. And then obviously it's got the timestamps on it and everything as well, which is great. It's just great to see the tangibilization of the movie actually being shot, that this is a real thing. It's not a concept, it's not something we're just talking about, it's actually in progress, it's actually something that's happening, which is great. And then we go on to the next picture. Obviously we have a picture there of Jack Reynor. He's a actor that kind of flies under a lot of people's radars, that people not necessarily heard of, but he's got a lot of great accolades, which we'll go into later in the video, about his acting prowess and the awards that he's won and things like that. The guy is really, really talented. So let's just check out a few of these comments. I put this comment here just before I started this video. I can't wait to see this. I'm picturing Evil Dead version of The Mummy, which would be hardcore. And then I put, at Blumhouse, tell me that Brendon Frasier has a cameo in this movie. I would just love to have him in there, even if it's just a pointless cameo where he's like a shop clerk or whatever it may be. Like, just put him in the movie to some degree. So very excited for this. We will be watching. Interesting. Please go back to what made the original so good. Don't do a Tom Cruise messy version. Needs to be setting of the original. Strong characters. When you're ready for new ideas instead of more remakes. The Invisible Man, Wolfman, and The Mummy. Is this the start of Blumhouse's dark universe? It potentially could be. We just don't know at the moment. It makes sense to have those kind of plans going forward. But what they want to do is just work on individual movies and make sure these individual movies are good first before doing any kind of crossover universe. Blumhouse produced. Yeah, this is going to be trash. What? Blumhouse have done some great horror movies. Five Nights at Freddy's news, blah blah blah, that's not relevant. Tom Cruise in The Mummy ruined the series. Let's hope there is an actual wrapped mummy in this one. I hope it's nothing like The Wolfman with Blumhouse behind it, no thanks. So is this related to the Universal Monsters or not, considering Atomic Monsters' involvement? I'm praying that it's good. So yeah, that's just some of the comments there. So it sounds like a lot of people are very kind of cautiously optimistic. A lot of people are kind of soured on the Mummy franchise after what happened with Tom Cruise in the last movie, which I can fully understand. But I think once we start getting marketing and trailers, kind of like what we did for Evil Dead Rise, I think a lot of people will flip on a dime and they'll see the first trailer and be like, this looks incredible. And I hope that's what happens anyway. But let's go back over to the article and continue diving into the news and breaking down what's going on with this project. So, if you're not familiar with Jack Reynor's body of work, we have some of his credits here. So Reynor's other credits include Lenny Abramson's What Richard Did, for which he won the ITFA Award for Best Actor, John Carney's Sing Street, for which he won the ITFA Award for Best Supporting Actor, as well as Carney's Flora and Son, Ben Wheatley's Free Fire, and Catherine Bigelow's Detroit. In 2015, he won the Sundance Film Festival's Dramatic Special Jury Award. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I've never even heard of that. For acting for his performance in Gerald Barrett's film Grassland. Upcoming projects include the second season of Prime Video's spy drama Citadel and John Carney's musical comedy Power Ballad. So the guy's got a lot of acting credits under his belt. You know, he's a seasoned actor. He's not familiar to a lot of people, but he's won a lot of awards. He's got great acting chops by the sound of it. He's been in a lot of projects and he's got a lot of acting experience. So I'm sure he's going to do a great job in this Mummy movie. So, coming off of the success of his thrillingly nasty Evil Dead Rise revival, just to go off on a side note for a second, for those of you who are watching or listening, if you have not seen the Evil Dead Rise yet, you are robbing yourself of a great horror movie. It's so good. This family is confined into a small apartment, and the mother basically gets possessed by like a demon or whatever, by the Deadites, and turns into this like grotesque zombie, and these kids are trapped in the apartment with her. And man, it's such a scary, claustrophobic, monstrosity of a movie. You really need to check it out if you have not seen it. Just to go off on a side note. Anyway, let's get back to the story. So Cronin was announced as the director of an untitled horror project with a release date of April 17th, 2026 earlier this year. Blumhouse and Atomic Monster and Warner Brothers later revealed that it will actually be a new take on the classic Universal monster. So Cronin will also pen the script. Quote, "This will be unlike any Mummy movie you've ever laid your eyeballs on before. I'm digging deep into the earth to raise something very ancient and very frightening," said Cronin in a statement. I mean, the mind boggles with what you can do with this. The Mummy can just be something absolutely terrifying and frightening. It depends. Are they going to go kind of like the 90s route where it's going to be like campy and comedic and funny? Or is it going to be a straight up serious kind of, horror movie where it takes itself super seriously? There's no comedy. I mean, it depends what kind of route and what kind of tone they're going for here. But if it's like super straight down the line horror, I mean, it could be something really, really spectacular. And like I say, the mind boggles with what can be done here. Atomic Monster and Blumhouse are co-financing the film, with James Wan, Jason Blum, and John Kevill on board as producers. Michael Clear, Judson Scott, and Macdara Keller are producers. Elena Glasssteel as executive overseeing the project for Atomic Monster. I'm so sorry if I butchered any of those names. I tend not to read many names on the on the channel because I always butcher them. But yeah, that's the people that are involved there. If you want to go back and have a read of it at your own pace, just pause the video and read it, guys. I'm sorry I butchered the names as always. So you can check out the first look at the movie's title logo below. So this was released a few months ago now. I've already covered this on the channel, but I'll go through it once again, just for those of you who are watching, who may be new subscribers here, who haven't seen this before. So this was put out from Blumhouse and Lee Cronin himself. This was kind of like the official announcement of the Mummy movie. It's almost like a little video here on Instagram, so we'll play this quickly. Yeah, so that was the Instagram post that was put out. I think it was pretty cool. It's very simple. It's very easy. I mean, it's just like a redacted Mummy title that's scribbled out. And then we have that kind of horrific kind of horror music playing in the background. It gives you the kind of heebie-jeebies, makes your hairs stand up on your neck. It's kind of creepy, but it's very simple. And that's what great marketing is. Very simple, but very effective. And it just alerts people to the fact that this movie is coming. So, going down here, though the plot details are still under wraps, we do know that this project will have nothing to do with Stephen Sommers' 1999 movie starring Brendan Fraser, although I really do hope that Brendan Fraser gets a cameo in this movie. It would be such a missed opportunity not to have him in there as a cameo to some degree. Nor 2017's notorious flop starring Tom Cruise. Yeah, like I said near the beginning of the video, as much as a disappointment as that movie was, the 2017 Mummy movie, I think there was still some fun moments to be had with it, but it's just unfortunate that it fell apart as badly as it did. It could have been something really, really fun, but you know, the rest is history, really. There have been reports that another movie set in the Sommers Mummy universe is also in development. However, previous rumors have claimed that the new reboot or direct sequel to the original might be in the works. But insider Daniel Rickman, for those of you who may not know, is kind of one of these social media scoopers. Gets things right, gets things wrong, take it with a pinch of salt whenever they say anything. Recently reported that the project is actually going to be a prequel. So that there's the potential for Brendan Fraser to come back to star in a movie that could be a prequel or direct sequel to that first Mummy movie from the 90s. We'll have to wait and see how that works. I would love to have Brendan Fraser back though. We don't have much more to go on for the time being, but Wes took Midway and the Rescue is said to be attached to pen the script. When asked if he might be interested in reprising his most famous role in a 2023 interview, Fraser seemed more than willing to return to battle the forces of darkness. So Brendan Fraser said the following: "I'm not opposed to it. I don't know an actor who doesn't want a job. I don't think I've been this famous and undersalaried at the same time in my professional life, so sign me up." Brendan Fraser, man, Oscar caliber actor. If you have not seen the movie The Whale, starring Brendan Fraser, one of his most powerful performances in his entire career. And just go and watch The Whale and you'll get an appreciation for how good of an actor Brendan Fraser has become. Seriously, you won't regret it, guys. Really great movie. So, a team of British archaeologists led by Sir Joseph Welper, Arthur Bryan, discovered the mummified remains of an ancient Egyptian prince, Imhotep, along with the legendary scroll of Thoth. When one of the archaeologists recites the scroll aloud, Imhotep returns to life, but escapes. Several years later, Imhotep has taken on the guise of a wealthy man as he searches Egypt for his lost love, who he believes has been reincarnated as the lovely Helen Grosvenor. That was the original Mummy movie, I believe, that's talking about there. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's where we are, guys. So we've got an official kind of announcement here on Instagram, which is kind of in the form of a script here, kind of alerting us to the movie. And Lee Cronin is saying it's going to be unlike any other Mummy movie we've seen before. We've got Jack Reynor starring now, potentially in the lead, which is going to be exciting. And I think this is going to be something really, really incredible. I'm looking forward to this. One of my most anticipated movies of the next 2 years, I have to say. But with that down, guys, I want to hear your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below, guys, on this project of The Mummy coming to us from Lee Cronin and Blumhouse. Is it something you're excited for? Is it something you don't really care about? Is it something you're cautiously optimistic? You're going to wait for the marketing before you decide to make your mind up about this project? Whatever your thoughts are, guys, I would love to see them down below. As always, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber. I would love to have you guys on board as subscribers. It would mean a lot to me, and I'd appreciate that. And I will see you, as always, in the next video.